Recording. I was like, Ricola.
Okay, so Dana and I have a couple of things on the agenda to talk to you guys about. Obviously, the topic of our call today is how to run a challenge group, but some of the things that we definitely wanted to talk about first was Team Cup. Team Cup is coming up for the whole month of February, and it's a lot of fun, and honestly, there's no disadvantage of being a part of Team Cup. There's only advantages, because if you do what we all do, then you get the added perk of prizes that Beachbody likes to give you because you just did whatever you were going to do, working out, helping people, so if you hit your goals, they give you a prize, and we work together as a team, so they accumulate, and you can earn better prizes depending on how well you guys work together as a team to come up with ideas and strategies to help more people. They are teams of 5, and so if you have not messaged us at this point, you want to get in on this, because honestly, there's nothing that's going to hurt you to do it. There's no penalty if you don't hit anything. The only thing that stinks is if you hit stuff and you didn't join a team and you don't get anything, because that's happened before to other people. I've had it happen to me. I've had it happen to other coaches who all of a sudden just took off and helped a whole bunch of people, and then they're like, wait, and I'm like, sorry. So there's not much I can do for that, but if you guys jump in on that, it definitely only increases your chances to get some cool stuff. So plus, if we register before midnight, right, Dana, tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm. Before midnight tomorrow night, Pacific Standard Time.
But we're setting the cutoff that you guys need to let us know by noon tomorrow, because we have to put together teams, and it takes time. So let us know if you want to join. I think that everybody, I don't know if Tina wants to participate, but I think everybody that's on this call right now is listed, if I recall, so that wants to participate. So if you are watching this recording, get on the train and toot, let's get some, Success Club points and get you some prizes. So, and then the other thing that we wanted to talk to you before we get into our main topic is Super Saturday. So Dana, do you want to take off with that? And I'm going to mute myself because it sounds like Liam's about to have a moment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Super Saturday, if you're not familiar with it, it's an event that Beachbody hosts all over the world. There's several events, and it is every quarter. And so it's an event that tells you what's going on, what's new product. We just had one last weekend. Some of us went to it. And Kristen and I were awarding prizes to those who went to it, because we find it very important for you to go to these, because you're connecting and networking when you go to these events. You're meeting other coaches, because that's the thing. We're on our own a lot, and we don't get to see each other a lot other than video chats. So it's a great opportunity to meet those in your area, to network, and we learn things from other teams all the time, and vice versa. So it's great to make these connections, because we're all in this together. And you just never know who you're going to meet. And also, it's awesome if you're close to a great area. When I was in Dallas, I've done a live workout with Autumn Calabrese. I have a picture with me and Autumn and Carl Deichler. That's fantastic. It's awesome. I go to a local one here, but if I want to, I have Charlotte and Raleigh that I could go to that aren't too far away. So we post that in our group when it gets close to the date for you to go, and it's usually not a lot of money to go. It's mine was $5. I think there's some that are 10. I think when I was in Dallas, it might have been 15 if you're a coach. But the other cool thing is you can bring guests too, and your guest is free. And I've actually signed a coach after taking them to a Super Saturday event. Someone that was interested in, they were already doing the product, drinking Shakeology, and I was like, hey, come to this event with me. And she signed up to be a coach that day or the next day. So it's also that available as well. So we highly, highly encourage it. It's inspiring. It's motivating. You learn a lot there. You hear other people's stories. There's always some great tips and stuff that they share with you. And then there's a video that Beachbody puts together, and we all get to watch it. And that's when they announce everything. They talk about when Tony Horton's new workout is coming out this year, which is March. They talked about the cafe latte, and they give you all the FAQ codes. So if you have any questions or need anything down, when I was there, I was writing down all the FAQs so I can reference this information. So when my challengers come to me and say, hey, I'm interested in cafe latte, I can just go there and reference it if they have any questions about that specifically. And they talked about the Team Cup in February, and then the app that's coming out that'll help us with our challenge groups, which is supposed to be coming out at the end of this month or beginning of February. So I'm really excited about that. So it's just, you want to be the first one to get this information because it's exciting, and you get to share it with your team and know firsthand. So as a reward, we are giving a prize to the win. We decided to announce it today. And the prize is going to Courtney, who is actually on this call. She went to Super Saturday. Where did you go? Which one, Courtney? She went with her husband.
Albany.
Her and her husband went together, and he absolutely loved it, right?
Yep.
So
they actually did a prize drawing for the guests too. They had like a separate prize drawing. Like they had one where you could pay for tickets, and they gave away hammer and chisel, and then they had a separate one for the guests. So that was cool.
Yeah, mine gives away prizes too. Just kind of random. One is usually always whoever drove the longest to get there, they get a prize, but then they do some other ones too, which is awesome.
We do a scavenger.
Yeah, they did those too, but they had like a raffle.
Oh, yeah. I did that in Dallas.
And it's important for you guys to all know that if it costs you any money, anything that you need, like you use for the business, whether it's like these trainings, whether you go to Summit, any costs for travel, anything that you accrue, those are all tax write-offs, because you have to remember this is still a business. So if you were a business owner on Main Street, you would still be able to write off all of the things that are necessary for your business to thrive. So it's no different. Sorry, Liam's getting into colored pencils, so I'm half watching this, half watching that. Thank you, no paper. But the other thing is that if you're a leader, you definitely, or if you want to be a leader on your team, you definitely want to be showing up for these calls, or not these calls, but the Super Saturdays and Super Fridays and Super Sundays, because you want, not only what Dana said is you want to be the first to know, but if your team doesn't make it, they need to know, and you need to pass it down to them. And if you don't know, you look stupid. Because we saw this happen very recently, and it doesn't help anybody if you don't know your information. And then you feel like you not only feel stupid, but you start to lose a little bit of credibility. So you want to make sure that you are, getting the information from the source, because it's good information. It's a lot of fun. Plus, you get to do a live workout, whether or not it's with, a trainer or whatnot, but there's always a live workout. We got to test drive, I know, Insanity Max 30 when that first came out, size, all these things before they were actually released to the public. So if there wasn't a trainer, we got to do the new program. So that's always cool too. So.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then,
sorry.
No, you're fine. A couple other housekeeping, I guess I want to say. I guess stuff we have coming up. So, yes. So Tuesday night we're having the event for the coaching opportunity. It's going to be Tuesday night this week at 8:30, and we're going to be doing it different than last time. So make sure you're inviting, and posting about that. And don't be afraid to approach, anyone. This month I've been just starting conversations with people. And I work from home, my regular job. And that's kind of come up in conversations, and friends of mine have been like, oh, I would love to work from home. And I was like, hey, awesome. I've got an opportunity for you. And that's generated the gears turning, and they were part of the event we had earlier this month. So it leads into that stuff, and definitely invite them to the event and let them know. Don't just put anyone in the event, because I was reading another coach's post who she got put into an event, and she wasn't told about it. They just put her in there, and she's like, I am going to, she friend requested everyone in that event and then messaged them individually and asked them if they wanted to, like, basically invited them to a challenge group, because the person didn't message her. So make sure that if you invite someone to an event, you kind of just give them a heads up and be like, hey, I think this is something you'd be great at. Or, just let them know that you're putting them in the event. And if they make it, great. If they don't, and don't be worried if they don't say yes. Doesn't mean they're not watching. Just because they don't say yes or maybe, doesn't mean they're not paying attention to the event or being a part of it. So there's that. And then the following week, next Monday, we'll start the new coach training for all our new coaches and stuff. So exciting. So get excited. And those are the upcoming things we have going on right now. Yeah. Anything else, Kristen?
It's just, I don't know. I don't remember who I said it to. I think it was one of you. It could have been Samantha. I know that Samantha messages me a lot too. If you guys want new coaches and you want to build and you want to share this, you need to make sure you're inviting. Like, this is a gift that we all have because it's a lot of fun. It's something that's making us better. So if you want to grow your business and not just have it be something that benefits you, but benefits other people, you have to go outside of your comfort zone and you have to invite. Because if you don't invite, then, nobody's going to know. You can't expect people are going to just, have a thought bump into their head and say, oh, you know what? I think I should join up with Dana and become a coach. That is like the coolest idea. If Dana doesn't tell anybody, nobody knows. So make sure that you guys are, whether it's, like she said, the messaging or your posts. And when you do a post, make sure that you're doing the catch at the end saying, if you want more information, please message or write interested, so that people know that there's a way to actually contact you or for you to contact back. So
I know sorry, Kristen, I know from my first post, I mean, I've had friends kind of come out of the woodwork and just message me after the fact and just say, what are you doing? What's it about? They've heard about Shakeology, but they haven't just been smart enough or have done more research on it. And so they've asked me the questions, and I've kind of just gone in depth with my story as I did with you when we talked the other night. And I've already got one. I had an extra bag of Shakeology here that I hadn't been using. So she says, can I have some samples of that? I said, definitely. So she actually took some tonight, and then she's going to already she's going to put herself down as a customer to me as well. I'm getting a couple other friends that are just interested. So I'm like, just that alone has helped. I mean, from there though, do I let them like kind of get used to the products first and then invite them to be a coach possibly? Because I don't want to just put that on them, obviously, because I'm new to being a coach as well.
Actually, that will lead into what we're going to go over on the call tonight.
Okay.
Just how the challenge group and why it's so important.
Okay.
But it is a possibility you can invite even before. I was a coach and signed on literally without ever trying Shakeology.
Okay.
So it was something that, and same with Bridget, it was something that, I had asked the questions. I had nothing to lose since just like we all found out that you have, like even if you decide you don't want to coach, there's no penalty,
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, they have the, money back guarantees to everything. So to me, it was worth the gamble. And like for everything it was giving me, like the ability to stand on my own 2 feet, because
Mm-hmm.
I was like literally asking Steve, can I buy this? Can I do this? And it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that just makes, it's a huge ego blow when you have to ask your husband if you can spend money, because they're the sole provider at that point. But the other thing is that, they gain so much more outside of that. Look at what it's done for all of us, for our self-esteems, and for, it makes you reconnect with people. I mean, heck, Jamie, would we like have reconnected hopefully outside of it? Hopefully. But
yeah.
You never know. So, I mean, look at how it's helped people reconnect. So that's what I like to focus on too, is like, coaching is so much more than just Shakeology.
I would definitely invite them to the event on Tuesday.
Okay.
And let her know she gets a discount too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
like, you're gonna love Shakeology, and to continue it, like, you can save 25% just by signing up to be a coach, and just say, I'd love to invite you to this event that we're having on Tuesday night. You can just tune in and listen, and it just gives you an insight into what we do as coaches.
Okay.
So and the thing is like, no matter what happens, you're planting the seed in their head. You're planting that idea in their head. And maybe nothing will ever come to fruition, but maybe it will. And it could happen that day. It could happen weeks from now. It could happen months and years from now. You just don't know, but you've planted the seed.
Okay.
And that's what was great about what you were saying is like people coming to you. That's the thing is like, if you're posting on your social media and then you're messaging people and you're talking to them, even if you're not talking to them about the challenge groups and like what you're doing, that ends up coming out in conversation because they're watching you and they're paying attention to you, and they're like, oh, hey, you look great. Like when I'm messaging people, they're like, oh, you look fantastic and all this stuff. And that leads right into, hey, have you thought about joining one of my challenge groups? You know, are you interested? Do you have any health and fitness goals? And most of the time they lead you into the conversation.
Okay.
So that's what's great about it.
You definitely see that once you invited because you gave your story, but you also did the invite. You didn't just leave it hanging like, this is what I'm doing. You need to make sure that it goes beyond that. You're extending it out to them, because, nobody's going to take food, like, it's kind of like that thing, like you got to put your hand out type of thing. You know what I mean? Like if you want help, you got to ask for it type of thing. Like, you want it, and this is kind of funny because you're helping them. They're the ones who need help, but you need to ask to help them. You need their help because, you can't do this alone. So if you make it sound like, this is something that we're all doing together, because it is, it seems so much easier for people to approach you. So, okay. So challenge groups, guys.
Challenge groups.
And this is the other way that you can do it too. So, Dina and I've noticed that challenge groups are not necessarily everybody's strength. So we decided that we were going to do a call on challenge groups, because the people that you put in your challenge groups, this is the biggest thing. You have to remember that even if you started off as a coach, you are still a challenger. Or if you were a challenger and you became a coach, you still are a challenger. I mean, like you're still improving yourself. So therefore you need to respond to the post too. Participate as if you are, especially if you're not one of the ones running it, because, that's your way of letting people know that you are just as, you're pushing just as hard as the rest of us are. So, everybody wants to see that we're all in this together. If they see a bunch of people in the group and they don't see us posting, they start to wonder what the heck, and they don't want to post because they think that they're just being watched. So.
And you don't hesitate. Like, you guys have valuable information to share. So don't feel like you're stepping on anyone's toes. Like, even if Chris and I are the hosts of the group, that does not mean that you can't share or participate or, respond to any of the challengers. Like, I respond to whoever said something in there, whether it's my challenge or someone else. And vice versa. So don't hesitate to share your information, especially because we all have different schedules too. So, I mean, I might not be able to get in there and answer. I usually try to check the challenge group early in the morning and then later on in the day. And so there's that huge gap that I'm not in that group and someone might need assistance at some point. So get in there and just answer.
Or like you might have a really good recipe that you need to share with other people. Nikita shared a recipe with me today, or showed me a picture of it. And I'm like, dude, post that in the accountability group, because, if you liked it, somebody else is probably going to like it too. So you are providing a valuable, something valuable to the team, something valuable to the people that are, this is the bonus of getting a challenge package or going through Beachbody. Like, instead of getting it through Amazon, is we're providing the service of us. So make sure that you're doing that, providing your service, so reaching out and helping people, because we're all in this together. And if you aren't helping them, it's no different than they're doing it on their own, if that makes sense. So, and Jamie did a really good job posting in our hammer and chisel today too. So
Wait, guys, everyone's looking at the camera. Smile. Like, I've got a screenshot ready to go.
Normally it's somebody's like looking down or looking like.
I know that I have to edit it, so I'm like, everyone was looking, and I was like, just do it right now. I'm sorry.
But, you know, like with the challenge groups, we all have something to contribute to them. And the thing is that that's our bread and butter. It's exactly what I just said. You sign on, you know, as, you know, if you offer to people, hey, I'm going to help you, and then you don't help them, they're not going to come back to you. They don't want your help because you're not helping them. And the other thing is even with like the invites when you're posting on your wall, if you're asking for referrals, which you can do, you can say like for the invite, if you know somebody else who might be interested in this and it can help them, make sure that you're, you know, sending them my information. That is not a problem. You can definitely do that, but nobody's going to refer people to you if you aren't helping them. So it's kind of a huge thing. So your business grows the more you help.
And it's a great way for you to find your coaches. You know, if your challengers are participating and they're commenting and they're sharing stuff and they're posting pictures of their post-workout sweaty selfies and all that stuff, those are your coaches. Those are the people that are already doing what we do as coaches. And that's when it's an easy open to be like, hey, you're doing amazing in this challenge group, and I really think you'd be a great coach. Have you thought about it? Would you like to learn more about it?
Yeah, and
that's why it's so
we're trying to do more with personal development too. So, I mean, Dana has always been big on trying to incorporate things into our challenge groups that are kind of make us stand out and different. And even at our Super Saturday, we learned a little bit more about, like, in the video they talked about it, that you want to, like, you know, and we have it in our newest challenge group, that we have a list of personal development books so that people can choose one, because, you know, if you're trying to better yourself, you can't just better one aspect of your life and expect everything to be fixed. You need to focus on the big picture. Obviously, it's a domino effect. If you change one thing, it's obviously going to help everything else, but everything stems from the mind. If you don't think you can do something, then you can't. If you give yourself that mindset that you can do anything in the whole wide world, you're going to succeed at everything. So it's all about getting yourself in the mindset, and the best way to do that is obviously personal development, because you're, you know, training the brain to think, I can do anything I, you know, set out to do. So not only is that something that's good for all of us, but if challengers are doing that, ding, 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 that's vital number 2. So they are participating and they're actually showing that they're, you know, a product of the product. Now they're doing personal development. The third step is that they have to ask people to join them. So they're basically literally a coach, and there's no, you know, reason for them not to want at least the discount. So
yeah, we've watched a lot of other coaches on some trainings we've done, and how their challenge groups kind of are incorporating things we do as coaches, like encouraging them to post on Facebook about, you know, doing the new workout program. So making it fun, like having fun hashtags and stuff like that, so you can look that up and everyone has the same hashtag. So don't be afraid, like, if you have an idea for a challenge group, because, you know, challenge groups, we can get complacent. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. Constantly doing the same thing, and then it becomes boring and it's not fun, because we are running them all the time, and we don't want to become complacent, because then that shows in our challenge groups. So we're always looking for new ideas and new things to make sure that our challenge groups are, you know, up to date, and they're fun, and they're motivating, and they're encouraging. And so that's why we decided, we both went to Super Saturday and came back and was like, we need to add personal development. And I was like, we're on the
it was funny because we both said it to each other, and we're like, wait, because that was my notes, and she said it, and I'm like, that was my next thing I was going to tell you. Shut up.
So we did that. And then another thing, I did a video that kind of tours the challenge group and how it works, because we put a bunch of information in the files, and I don't think everyone knows that. You know, we do a bunch of recipes and Shakeology recipes, and how to clean out the junk, and meal prep tips. And if you have a party or you're going or you have like a holiday or whatever, like tips to stay on track during those times, we want to give stuff of value, because yes, this is a part, and it's like something free that we give them once they, get a program or a Shakeology or both, but it has to have value. And, it's definitely different from our free groups of how you want to see a difference, because a lot of people are in our free groups and then they want to join our challenge groups. There has to be a difference between what we provide there. We do provide good information in the free group, but it's not nearly comparable to what we give in our challenge groups.
Right.
So, and we're always just trying new things in different, videos, and just trying to incorporate different things, tagging. But you also want to stay too on top of, the one-on-one interactions with your challengers, and make sure you're checking in on them daily. Maybe every couple days, depending on what they need. I have some challengers right now that I text every single day, because they need that kind of accountability. And then I have other ones that I check on like once a week, because they don't want me down their throat, so it just all depends. But so yeah, I think
but you have to remember that the whole point of these challenge groups is to help people, and that's why we decided to become coaches, is to not just help ourselves and to get money, but it's to help other people achieve their goals. And the more people that you help achieve their goals, it spirals out, and it's, then they're going to talk about it. Well, how did you get these results? Well, you should talk to my coach Jamie, or you should talk to my coach Courtney, because, I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. So you want to be, the reason that somebody says my life has changed. So,
and then posting's pretty, as far as like how the run, posting, we try really hard. So Kristen's a late night person and I'm an early morning person. So when she runs it the week, she usually posts the night before. Me, I usually post first thing when I get in the morning, probably around 5 a.m. Because I know there's some early risers who work out early like I do. So we try to have it there first thing for them to go, because we usually are giving an assignment. Some people are checking first thing in the morning, or then they're coming in later in the day. So that's really it is. A lot of our stuff we have pre-written. Sometimes we don't. We have a bunch of stuff that we mix it up and change it up and move things around. But while we're on this call, we are still looking for co-hosts for the lifetime accountability group. And this is a great way to get your feet wet as far as a challenge group is concerned. We've pre-written out ideas for each day of January. We'll be doing February soon. But we just give a one-word suggestion for the day, and you can make it whatever you want. So like, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's 18th. Okay, so tomorrow's is Flex It. So you can take a picture of like flexing your muscle and ask everyone to take a picture of them after a post-workout and flex their muscle.
Or take it a totally different way and, Google, why do people flex their muscles? You know what I mean? And make it funny. You know what I mean? Like, provide it so that, like, you're giving information, but you're also making it so that people are like, oh, I totally want to tune in, because what are they going to say next? Yeah.
And then, like, the next day is a snack. So you can share great, if you're a mom and you have great snack ideas for kids, because I know moms are always looking for that, healtty snacks, share that. Or, like Kristen says, like, go ahead and Google. I Google things all the time, like when I'm looking for stuff. Because again, we've been running challenge groups for a while, so I'm always looking for new things. So go ahead and Google it. But we created this just to make that easy, so you can quickly put something for that day, but you get to make it your own and uniquely your own. So, but everything has to have a picture or a link to it too, because if you just write out text, it's gonna get lost in the shuffle. People will just think it's a challenger posting in the group. Has to have some kind of graphic to it, or if it is a website and it provides a link, or if it's a video and it provides a link, that's fine. But it has to have some kind of graphic to it. Because if not,
and we put the day of the week too, that it's like, so like today being it was poop, what did I do?
Sunday.
I did two because 2 days didn't work out. So like yesterday being it was meal prep, my YouTube would not upload it. So I decided to do that as a bonus thing, but typically it would have said Saturday, period, and then the content, because that way people can always, keep in track what day is it. So because they don't necessarily look at the date, how many people actually know what the date is today? You look at what day of the week it is.
Yeah. So we are looking for volunteers of that, and you can run it however you want. Kristen and I run every week. So we do weeks at a time. And we do every other week with each other. But we've run groups before where we've had like days. So I would do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, stuff like that. So whatever works best for your schedule, that will be between you and whoever wants to host it with you. We're looking for at least 2 people, but we can have way more than that. Like if we had 4 people, you'd each get 1 week of the month. Which would be perfect. So please let us know. Again, it's a great opportunity to get your feet wet as far as a challenge group is concerned, because this is our lifetime one. So this is always going to be running. And then Chris and I are still going to be doing the monthly ones that we run every month. That will change. The reason we do this lifetime one is because our challengers want to continue, but they don't want to keep doing the meal prep week and all that over again. So it's great to put this in this because it's constantly changing, different. So yeah.
Well, and you can't go wrong because these people already know, like they kind of help you almost, like people will comment on things. So because they have been in challenge groups before. So this is literally the perfect, setting for any new coach that really wants to get their feet wet, like Dana said. But, if you want to move your business, the only way to do it is to honestly start to take a leadership role. And by doing that is these kind of things. Now, if you just signed like this last week, which we have 3 coaches on here that did, we're not expecting you to start running challenge groups like right away unless you want to. I mean, there is nothing. Nikita started running a challenge group right away. So there is nothing wrong with that. It's your race. You get to choose how fast you want to go and how you want to run it.
Absolutely. Do you guys have any questions as far as challenge groups or any of the stuff we talked about tonight?
Bridget's always good for
all at once. I love how you always throw Bridget. Bridget, you have a question. Bridget's blue.
She's going for it. Look at, I was going to say, she's going to unmute herself.
Well, yeah. It's a new computer. I don't know where the buttons are yet. I had to turn the lights off. That's why I look blue. No, I don't think I have any question. I just, I have one of the things to add in my challenge group right now. Tina's in it, and she's posting like a crazy person. You guys know that. Is that just posting your experience, because some people are new and have never done it and done these things. And so, I mean, trial and error, we've learned what works best. Give them all those cheats, all those shortcuts that we didn't know when we first started. So.
Good point. Anybody else? Because you guys not only ask questions, but if you have any tips or pointers, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Yes, please.
We all could learn. Dana and I are constantly learning from you guys, from other coaches, from just life in general. So.
So quiet.
Everybody's quiet tonight.
I know.
Except
You're
for Jack.
soaking it all in. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Jack's got a question, guys. What's your question, Jack?
Look.
You gotta go poop?
What did you say?
No.
Blue? Is that
Oh.
you said is blue?
No.
Blue. Blue.
No.
What?
No.
Your hair? You want to show me your hair? Okay.
So as you guys can tell, for those of you that are new on our calls, they're very laid back. We like to keep it casual. It's a learning experience for all of us because, like I said, we have something to learn from all of you guys. So even if you have a question and we don't have an answer, Dana and I typically look up stuff or ask around after the call, and we will give you an answer if we don't have it within our team page. So it never hurts to ask. And even if the questions don't come up until after the call, because I know how that is, you get put on the spot and your mind goes like mush, because that happens to me like all the time. And I have mommy brain, so it's like a bad combination. But ask away in the group.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and before I forget, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bonnie Engel is on the National Wake Up Call. I love this girl. She's amazing, and she's gone from, good Lord, in 17 months, she's gone from, I think, just like a regular coach to number 5 in the company, and she had over $200,000 in debt and is completely debt free at this point because of Beachbody. Yeah, no joke. We've watched the story unfold online. It's amazing. So I can't wait to listen to that. I'm setting my alarm because I don't want to miss it. And tomorrow night, our bombshell call is at 9:00. I'm about to post that information. I didn't want to post it until after this call because then I thought it might be confusing.
Hating peoples.
Yeah, so I'll be posting that one. So I'm excited. So yeah.
Well, and the thing is that Bonnie actually is a military wife. So if you guys know anybody who's like in the military, Beachbody likes to reward people. So that's also a wonderful way to build your